Describe Glitterbox in 3 words.
I would describe Glitterbox in 3 words as liberating, empowering, and free.
So how have you found yourself at Glitterbox? Because your background is a little bit different. There's like different sort of schools of Glitterbox performers, aren't they? So which one do you fall into?
I would class myself as one of the dancers rather than the artist, because I've came from a professional dance background.
Okay, give us a bit of that then.
I went to stage school in Essex for 2.5 years, and I actually left early there. I ended up leaving stage school because I found Ibiza. So after my second year, I came and did my first season in Ibiza, fell in love with it so much and ended up leaving and just moving here permanently, and basically created a whole new identity for myself here and started a whole new genre of dancing. So I danced since I was 2, ballet, tap, all the shabam, but then I lost my love for it a lot when I was at stage school, when it got too intense and too hard and too much pressure, and I lost a lot of myself. So coming to Ibiza, I feel like I just really found myself in a whole new way and a whole new path in a whole new industry.
Yeah. So what is it about Glitterbox and particularly Ibiza? In fact, I'm going to go to the island because I feel like it's quite important to understand the setting in which Glitterbox was pretty much born, really.
Yeah.
What is it about the island itself that has made you want to be here all the time?
It's a magic island. It's magical.
But what's magic? Everybody says this, don't they? And I feel like for people who might not come here very often or something, it's so hard to describe the feeling. Is there a way that you could describe it?
I feel like it just feels like it makes your soul shine. You can really feel yourself, your whole self here. You're not really a person. It's like you become part of the island. You feel alive. I've never felt so more alive than I have here, and it's opened so many doors for me. The opportunities that it's created and the people, all like-minded people, just get magnetized together. And it's just full of everyone who's on the same wavelength, who wants to grow, who just wants to feel free and not feel trapped and just live however they want to live in total freedom. That's what I love about it.
So taking that feeling that you've described about the island and translating that to Glitterbox, is that what makes your time at Glitterbox all that more special? Like, do you feel like that it's a bit different? Do you feel any different when you're doing Glitterbox events outside of Ibiza? Or do you feel like Glitterbox maybe takes the magic of Ibiza?
I think Glitterbox here definitely takes some of the magic in Ibiza. So when I first started Glitterbox in 2019, it was only in the UK, and then COVID happened and we did some virtual parties with them, and I hadn't found my artist self then. It was only until I came and did it last year in Ibiza for the first year, when I did it in High for the first time last year, and it was like a whole new performer in me was born. It was just so much more liberating. I could really find my niche and find who I wanted to be and how I wanted to perform. Out here it just feels so much more accepted and celebrated to be as wild and authentic as you possibly can be. So it does feel more magic here from that reason, bringing a different authentic side of you out. Yeah.
Do you feel like because of that, the way that happens with people, it brings this being, this other side of us out, does that make sense to you to understand why, although it's not an LGBTQ plus night or an explicitly LGBTQ, but our community, the LGBTQ community, finds affinity with it, you know, and that, you know, there's such a draw for our community. Does that resonate with you?
Yeah, definitely. I just love how it celebrates uniqueness. It celebrates you just being your raw, authentic self. It doesn't matter who you are, what your background, what race, what gender. It celebrates whoever you want to be. So it's clear that it's gonna draw these people who want to feel like they can just be whoever they want to be in a safe space, where the rest of the world in places it's not a safe place. So it's so nice to have one safe, beautiful, magical place where everyone can just be fully celebrated of whoever they want to be. Even if it's just in that night, you can just explore whoever and whatever you want to be, and seeing other people on a stage being so wild and raw, it's so inspiring to see that, and it's so nice that it could inspire other people to live like that on a daily basis.
Being able to be a part of that beautiful environment that you just described so beautifully, by the way. So
thank
gorgeous,
you.
isn't
Yeah,
it? Like, you're so eloquent. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
How does it feel to come out of that beautiful environment into what some might say is a world that is becoming increasingly polarized, specifically concerning LGBTQ people, trans siblings. How does it feel to come out of that environment into that environment? Is it just like a big drag? Like, does it make you feel? Does it reinforce the importance of inclusive nights? Like, what's the biggest emotion that you feel when you see Glitterbox compared to the rest of the world?
Yeah. Well, firstly, I feel honoured to be a part of it and honoured to be a representative of it. And it's made me so much more understanding to what people could actually go through and how people are still being treated in the world. So I feel like I have so much more understanding and empathy for what's really happening, and it makes me want to do my bit for helping people and celebrating and being on their side so much more. It just gives it so much more awareness, I think, seeing the contrast. So, yeah.
Do you think we need more LGBTQ, like, inclusive, or do you think we need more inclusive nights that are a little bit more carefree? And
For sure. Any of Glitterbox compared to a lot of the nights here has such a spark, I think, because it's got that celebration of new and the unheard of, because there isn't many nights that celebrate LGBTQ as much as Glitterbox, and I think that's why it makes it so special. And it's epic, like, it's the best people ever, like the nicest people ever. We definitely,
let's be honest, they're the coolest, they've got the coolest style,
the coolest people, the nicest people, the happiest people. Like, everywhere needs to be more like this. Like, why? Just celebrate everyone being who they are. Definitely needs to be more.
So, it's a celebration. It's fabulous. Give me
yeah.
your wildest memory moment. Come on, lay on us. I want the BTS. I want to peel back this curtain, honey.
Yeah.
Come on. I know there's some cheeky stuff in the eyes.
I love cheeky things that's happened in Glitterbox. We have had some very wild nights. It can be crazy. Definitely can be crazy. I think my favourite moment ever with Glitterbox is when we did Drum Sheds in London.
Yeah.
And we had a 40-foot runway. It was epic. Like, I felt like I was Beyonce. There was 4 dancers and we were dressed like Golden Girls. We looked like a BAFTA award. We were dripping in gold. It was amazing. And I remember the 3 other girls had walked onto the stage and they'd set themselves in a free, so it wasn't like evened out. So I was like, I'm just going to go have to boss the runway on my own. So I went straight down the runway, absolutely giving it beans, and the crowd was cheering my name. I had my name screaming from people I didn't even know, like fans. It was crazy, and it was that moment I was like, wow, like Glitterbox do that. They represent the artists so well and so personally, and that was really like a moment for me of like, wow, how big and epic and how much of an honour it is to work for this brand and on this 40-foot runway, like strutting down, like it was amazing.
I mean, you know, size and everything, but you know, 40 foot's 40 foot, isn't it? You know,
like I'm tiny. That's a long stride. I was giving it a long stride, man.
So, what would you say to somebody who was ever in doubt about, you know, maybe going to an event like this? You know, they might see it as like, oh, it's ravey, it's dancey, it's like, I might maybe a bit apprehensive about it, you know, but what would you say to that person who, you know, might like the music, you know, a bit of disco, a bit of house, a bit of this, bit of that? What would you say to that person who's maybe a bit apprehensive and was on the edge about coming to try it?
I would say go and try and just feel the energy, because the energy doesn't lie. The energy that's coming off the performers just radiates into the crowd, and the crowd coming from the energy radiates into us. It's just like a complete sharing of energy, and the disco balls, the confetti. It's the happiest place ever. Like, you can't go and not have a happy time.
Yeah.
And who doesn't want to be happy? Who doesn't want to be happy?
I agree. If you could pick one favourite thing about the label or the nights, what would it be? DJs, artists, the music, the events, the festivals?
Yeah.
What would it be if you could pick one thing, one element of it? Because it's not just limited to one thing. Like, you know, for some people, Glitterbox is the music, the records.
Yeah.
For some people it's the events. For some people it's the performers. For some people it's the DJs, the singers. It could be anything. What is it for you?
I would say it's the family feeling for me. Like, we feel like one big cuckoo family. Everyone has their own little role. Everyone's so different, but everyone's so accepted. Even with the staff, the DJs make such an effort with the performers. Like, everyone gets along so well. It just feels like one big crazy family. I think that's my favourite thing about it, because I just feel at home. It's nice.
Who's mother then, if it's a crazy family?
Mother, misfit.
Ah!
Mother Misfit, definitely.
Interesting. I'm going to catch up with Misfit later then and say hello, mother.
Mother Misfit, definitely.
Ellie, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for joining
us. Thank you so much for having me.
At Gaydio down at Cafe Mambo.
Yes, Cafe Mambo. Thank
It's
you
Cafe
so
Mambo,
much.
yeah.
It's Cafe Mambo. Cafe Mambo. How amazing.
Honestly, thank you so much. You've been a diamond.
Thank you.
Mwah.
Thank you so much.